Well, when you ask that question, you would there's one answer for that in Sweden, one answer in India, one answer in the United States, one answer in Korea. All of these things, they're dependent on where the people are and what their access is to broadband. And the fact is, it's becoming universal. Even India, a developing country, I'm told, has over 10% internet penetration. It's in urban populations, it's in young people. Everything we see all over the world that social scientists are looking at, the broadcasters, the internet entrepreneurs are looking at, says to them, this is what people want. This hits a responsive chord in people, and they want to communicate this way. Not just young people, not just teenagers, not just college students, but people who are full adults. I'm on Facebook like everybody else. My high school class of 1963, most of us are together on Facebook, and we exchange greetings and informations and news to each other. So, you can't just call social media something for young people. But to be in rural India, obviously it doesn't mean very much. It doesn't mean anything. If you don't have electricity, you're not going to have Facebook. Not easily, anyway. Well, I mean, the importance is just beyond words to me, because I've been in radio all my working life, and now that I'm retired, I'm in it after my working life. I believe in radio very, very much. I know what radio can do, and in the United States, I saw community radio and what we call public radio, which is the next level up, larger stations. I saw it grow from nothing to one of the most significant and important mediums in all of mass media. So I hope and feel confident that for India that will be the same, from the very ground up. I watched the growth. I was present for the growth of public radio in the United States. And there is a small public community radio movement in the United States. It's very small. And it has to do with, why it's small has to do with licensing and communities and things like that. Public radio is the American equivalent of what we're talking about here. Community-owned radio, locally owned, educational institutions and so on. I watched the growth of that over 40 years, and already the growth in India represents the first 5 or 6 years in the United States. And that 5 or 6 years, they had hundreds of millions of dollars from the United States government to buy infrastructure to get going. And India is, without that boost, without that aid from government, and we've been hearing about aid from government, but it does not have that infrastructure fund that American public radio had, yet it is growing exponentially faster. The important thing is not so much what's on the program, and don't tell Dr. Streeter I told you this, but it is the getting together and the sharing of information that goes on among these participants. This is the most valuable thing that happens. The awards, very good. The speakers, excellent. To hear the minister, to hear an announcement of the new advertising rates and the boost in what stations will get, it's all very good. But what's really, really important is for the station representatives to be talking to each other, to be learning from each other, and to be sharing their experiences. I'm going to take away a great many new friends. My card is all over this building, and I have an email address and a telephone. And in the old days, we hardly ever tried to call India because the time difference and then the cost and then the poor quality of the connection. But now, that's all gone. Everything is just perfect. I just spoke to my son back in the USA for 2 seconds, He's a college student, so he hardly has any time for me. So it's easy. And I hope that people will call me, and if I don't know the answer, I'll find somebody to get them the answer. I think in the United States, there's so many people who in public radio who wish the very best for India and who really would love to help. And I'm going to suggest today that we make use of broadcasters all over the world who could come and bring their experience, learn from you, and you can learn from them, and we can speed this process up even more.